Every night at exactly 3:11 a.m., something started walking inside my ceiling. Not rats, not pipes. Footsteps. Slow, heavy, like someone pacing directly above my bed. The problem was, I lived on the top floor. There was no apartment above mine. The first night, I convinced myself I imagined it. The second night, the footsteps stopped directly over my head. Then I heard scratching, long nails dragging across the ceiling. Scratch, back and forth, slowly. I barely slept after that. By the fourth night, the sounds got worse. The footsteps no longer stayed above me. They followed me through the apartment. Kitchen, hallway, bathroom, always directly overhead, like something crawling through the ceiling trying to track where I moved. Then came the whispering, very faint at first, like someone speaking through wet fabric. I pressed my ear against the ceiling one night and instantly regretted it, because the whisper stopped. Then something whispered back directly above me. "I can hear you too." I stumbled backward so hard I nearly fell. The ceiling creaked loudly above me. Then came one loud thud, like something dropping onto all fours. And then, rapid crawling, fast, violent, moving across the ceiling directly toward my bedroom. I locked myself inside immediately. The crawling stopped outside my door. Silence. Then 3 knocks came from above me. Knock, knock, knock. Not on the door. Inside the ceiling. I didn't sleep at all that night. The next morning, I went to the building manager. I asked about maintenance tunnels, storage space, anything above my apartment. The old woman behind the desk stared at me strangely, then quietly said, "There used to be a floor above yours." My stomach dropped instantly. I asked what she meant. She hesitated for several seconds, then told me there had been a fire 30 years ago. The entire top floor burned down. Several people died. After that, the building owners sealed everything above the 5th floor permanently. I laughed nervously, said that wasn't possible, because every night, someone walked above me. The old woman stopped smiling, then asked, "Has it started knocking yet?" That night, I left every light on, TV running, music playing, anything to drown out the fear. At exactly 3:11 a.m., the power shut off completely. Darkness swallowed the apartment instantly. Then, thud, something landed above my bed. The ceiling groaned under its weight. Then came slow footsteps, directly over me. One step, another, then scratching. Dust drifted down from the ceiling slowly onto my blanket. Then I saw it, a crack forming in the plaster above me. Tiny at first, then widening slowly. Something moved behind it. A pale finger pushed through the crack. Then another. Burned, blackened. They gripped the edges of the ceiling and pulled downward slowly. The crack widened enough for me to see an eye staring through. Cloudy white, unblinking. Then a voice whispered softly through the hole, "You hear us now." I ran out of the bedroom screaming. The hallway ceiling creaked violently above me. Then something started crawling fast overhead again. following me. I grabbed my phone flashlight and aimed it upward. That's when I noticed something horrifying. There were wet footprints on the ceiling. Human footprints. Burned black, leading directly toward my bedroom. Then my flashlight flickered, and suddenly, I saw a face pressed upside down against the ceiling above me. Charred skin, no eyelids, a mouth stretched unnaturally wide, and it was smiling. The creature crawled across the ceiling impossibly fast, its limbs bent backward like a spider. Then it vanished into darkness above the hallway. I ran outside barefoot, but when I reached the parking lot, I looked up at my apartment window and saw silhouettes moving behind the curtains. Multiple people, standing upside down on the ceiling inside my apartment, watching me. I spent the rest of the night in my car. At sunrise, I returned upstairs carefully. The apartment looked normal again, except for one thing. Burn marks covered the ceiling above my bed, and written in black ash, there were words, "Stay awake." That night, I tried recording the sounds. At exactly 3:11 a.m., the footsteps returned immediately. I pressed record on my phone, then slowly aimed the camera upward. At first, nothing appeared, only darkness. Then the camera exposure adjusted automatically, and I saw them. Dozens of burned figures crawling silently across the ceiling, watching me. Their heads twisted unnaturally sideways, their mouths hanging open, and every single one had white, glowing eyes. One of them slowly tilted its head toward the camera, then whispered. He opened the ceiling. Suddenly, something slammed violently above me. The plaster cracked open completely, and a burned arm reached downward toward my face. I dropped the phone and ran, but the apartment door slammed shut by itself. Then, all the lights turned back on simultaneously, and every ceiling in the apartment began bulging downward. Kitchen, hallway, bathroom, bedroom, like bodies pressing from above. Then came hundreds of whispers all at once. Come upstairs. The ceiling above the hallway split open suddenly. Dark ash poured down everywhere, and behind the broken plaster, I saw another hallway, an entire hidden floor above mine, burned black, endless, and standing inside it were dozens of charred people staring downward at me, not blinking. One of them slowly crawled headfirst onto the ceiling opening. Its burned jaw cracked open unnaturally wide. Then it whispered softly, "You're on our floor now." The lights shut off instantly, and somewhere above me, I heard hundreds of footsteps begin running at once.